Okay, so let's check. We use the 123Fastq tool for quality checks and of course for trimming. I think one of the advantage I've noticed with the tool is that is a web server. So if you're not familiar with how to write a command line script or a command line code, you will still be able to check the quality of your reads or your sequences, and then you can also go ahead to trim. Now let's see. I'm sharing my entire page now. Okay, so let me pull up what we have here. I think basically this is the website. I think this is the publication of the tool, and so you can simply just click on preview here, and then you can have the total information about it. So if you want to install it, it's freely available here. Then you simply follow this directive. You come over to this place. You can download any of the releases, have the binary zip file, and then of course, so when I finish it, I'll just simply click here to download. Then I go all the way to my downloads and then make sure that I unpack it. So I came over here, I check on my downloads, and as you can see, it is here. We have the 123Fastq, and then I go ahead to unzip it, or I simply extracted all the files. I did that, then I go up. You're definitely going to find it is here. So you can see it is here, 123Fastq.jar. So if you open it, double click to open that. But before you do that, you should have Java installed, and you should have a Java JRE also installed on your computer alongside. So when you open this, the first interface you see, and then you can actually do a single mode QC that allows you to be able to check the quality of just one read, whether it is forward or backward. Then you can also do the comparative mode, and then you can also do your scRNA sequence pipelines here, and then you can convert your fast 5 to Fastq. You can convert it to a SAM file, to BAM, and then to Fastq, and then in that order. So quite a number of things you can do with the tool. This is much useful for those who are not interested in writing code on command line. So let's try and see. So if I just click on the single mode, so I'm just going to use only one. So it takes me straight to my, to my, either my desktop, but I've already done that. So if you are not, you simply come and click here, and then you know where you have kept your reads or your sequences. So mine is on my desktop. And so I go to my desktop, then I go to my IVF, then I simply double click over there. Then I have some Fastq files which are here. So I'm not too sure if I have picked. So now I don't know the one that I am doing. So it's very easy. I can simply just close the tab here, and then I'll come and click on the single mode again. It takes me to, so I have one Fastq file here. So I'm going to click on that, and then I will simply open it. And then, so now it's going to do the checks for me. And then let's see how the tool works. So it's at 10% now. It's doing the quality checks for me. And so that's the 123Fastq tool, and that's how it works. So let's wait a little bit and see how the report will come out to look like. So the extent to which the checks are done depends on the internet speed. If your internet speed is good, then you're going to have it work quite faster. But I have a very poor internet today, and that is why the speed is quite slow. So as you can see, the records of the read, about 2,300, it has finished. They give you all the records here, and as you can see, this is the quality checks report, as you can see, which is here. So now the advantage is that now that I have seen the quality, I can save the report if I want, or I can go ahead and then also do the trimming if I want to. So the quality, what is the report, if I save it here, then maybe I can just do this, and then you see that the HTML file is already out here for me to save. So I can save it, and then let's say I'm going to save that, which is being saved. I can go ahead and continue with the trimming. So there's a button next to it for you to trim this particular file that you have. But the beautiful thing is, so when I click on this, it allows me to reset my trimming parameters, and it's using Trimmomatic. So obviously we are talking about short reads here. So when we come here, we can see trim cascade. We can see the camera. We can see our fresh score is at 33. When you click on the whatever that is down here, we can actually choose a fresh score of 33 or fresh score of 64, or we can choose auto detection fresh score, and then that's very good. That's one of, so the tool will automatically detect. We check through the sequences or check through the quality checks, and then detect the kind of fresh score that is used, and that's what the auto detection does. Then here I could have also browsed and then import a different what I read to come and then do whatever. But now because I'm using single end, that is why. But if I were using paired end, I have to come and check here, and then I can go ahead and then adjust any of. So if I come here, if I want the Trimmomatic approach, then I can click here on Trimmomatic approach. Then I can go and then adjust whatever. So I have here, if it is Trimmomatic and I have to remove adapters, remember, Trimmomatic have this kind of adapters like so you can just choose any of the adapters that you think is appropriate. Then here I'm not using paired end, so I will choose this one. And then of course, so if I were using paired end, I would have used the PE. So this is the single end. So that's the adapter that I want to use for Trimmomatic, and I'm going to use the Trimmomatic approach. So you can follow all the parameters. If the leading sequences that you want to remove, you can adjust them here. And then when you are done, now you can slide here to continue to make sure that you are, you set up all the parameters which you are supposed to based on how you want to do your quality checks. After if you had viewed, now when everything is done, and then you can check in for all this maximum length of reads. You are saying 50. Minimum length, then minimum average quality checks. Then you can set all the parameters. For instance, if I click here, it allows me to adjust on the right-hand side. And then when I am done with everything, then I am good to go. And I'm saving it to, so the output file will be saved to where? So I can simply click on Save To, and then suggest where I want it to be saved to. So I am saying that I want my output file to be saved in my IBF FastQ. FastQ. So I'll just leave it over there, and I'll click here, and then what is it? So that is okay for me. I'm just going to close it. So that's why it's going to. If I want, I could have changed it. Now when we finish, we say, okay, make a report sheet. I can click here to make a report sheet. If not, I'm already going to save the report in my, so I will simply just click here, let's trim, and then it will start the trimming process for me. And so the trimming process is going, and when it is done, we will get a report that it is done. And so as you can see, some work is going down, and then that we could have continued. And so when everything is done, we will see. So it is finished. They're asking me to trim again. That is if I so wish. But if I'm not, I will simply go ahead and then check for my, my trimmed, and then that's it. So for me to be able to do that, I need to go to maybe to my desktop, and then I'll go and look for my IVF. And then I'm trying to go to the IVF FastQ. And then I just did some trimming reports. I can't remember how I saved it, but I think it should be this. Yeah, so I don't know how I saved it. Can't remember how I saved, but so this is how you are able to do it. And then you're going to have your trim report, which will be saved in the directory that you actually specified. And then as we can see, I think if I'm supposed that this is what we are talking about, then we can check it out here. I'll open it here, and then you see how the trimming was done. And then my trim FastQ file is now ready for further analysis. So this is one of the ways through which you can use this 123 FastQ. And of course, if you also wanted to do comparison, you could do the comparative mode. And then in that case, you could also close any of the tabs here. I think maybe let me try and see if I can open the trim tab. I'm trying to open that, and then so I have, this is the single mode. What is it? That was the quality checks parameters that we had done earlier. And so this is the trim report part that we have, but we have saved it into a file. So you're not going to see the report as you wanted, but you can see that these are the parameters we use in doing that. So I think it's just okay for whatever for us. So what was it? So let me check here. What was the name? FastQ. So it's MB1S76. S76. So that is why when we went to my desktop, where is the trim? It's supposed to be S76, not 79. So I'm trying to look for the S76. Yeah, so it should be here. But yeah, S76. So it should be this one. I want to believe. Yeah, I think this is rather. So let's see if it will open up the trimmed reads, and let's see how it looks like. It's taking a little while, and so you can see this is the what is it? The reports that we can see, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, as we can see the output, if I'm not mistaken, I think. Yeah, so this is the S76. I also see another S76 here, but I don't know which one. So I think this was the, yeah, that is it. Is the 123 FastQ report. So this was the FastQ report, the quality check report. As we can see that the report out, what the outplay is a little bit different from the ordinary QC that we have been doing. And then I'm now trying to look for the trimmed one, the one that we have trimmed. And that's the one I'm not getting too fast. The one we have trimmed that I'm not getting too fast. But I think you have the idea now as to how to be able to use the tool here. Now let's try and see if we could do the comparative, but maybe I should do that in a different video. It's a very simple process to be able to use the tool. And so that's it for today. You can go ahead and then I'll leave the link in the comment section for you to be able to go ahead and download it and then extract it, and then you are good to go. But make sure you have Java installed on your computer, and then you also have the Jari also installed on your computer, the latest versions. They are the two dependencies for this particular tool to work, and then you are good to go. Thank you. I'll see you some other time.